Hello everybody and welcome to explaining all badges in Team Fortress 2. Now before we jump into the video, I just want to let you all know that there is a disclaimer. I do not know everything about these badges. I could have gotten some things wrong, and if I do, please leave a comment and just let me know, correct me. And also, I will not be covering tournament medals in this video, as I don't believe they have like a good story to tell. I feel like it would just get boring, but there is a few badges in here which have boring storylines as well. And I also want to let you know that I know I didn't cover every badge. I will be making a part 2 hopefully, but sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. And just a reminder, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, so the first badge we're going to be going over is the Mercenary badge. You've probably seen this on like all the free-to-plays, bots, you know, players like that. But this was given to players who launched TF2 from the date of October 10th, 2008. So like midnight of October 10th, 2008. Overall, I think this badge is kind of like one of the staples of players in Team Fortress 2, as it's, of course, everybody has it. Every player in TF2 has either the Mercenary badge or any of the player badges, like the employee badges, basically the higher date badges, you could say. Now there's a couple of other ones I'm going to go into, so we'll jump into them. So the next badge we have is of course the Soldier of Fortune. Now this is like the step up from the Mercenary badge. So this was given to players that had launched the game or owned the game before January 10th 2008. So of course the Mercenary badge was given to players who launched it after that date. This was given to the players who launched it before. Now, I don't really see that many of these in-game, because the people who have, like, the Soldier of Fortune, Grizzle Veteran, everything like that, they tend to be more veteran players, so they don't cosmetics, things like that. So you don't really see many people rocking these badges, but I still think it's a definite cool addition to your inventory and a cool thing to flex for sure. Of course, now we get into the Grizzled Veteran. Now, these are kind of the badges that are getting into quite rare territory. As to get this badge, you would have to have played or owned TF2 from October 10th, 2007 to January 9th, 2008. So, of course, like, there wasn't many people playing at that time, so these two badges, of course, the Primeval Warrior, I'll cover that one after this one, but those two badges are kind of the rare ones. If you have them, it shows you've been playing TF2 pretty much since the beginning, and I just think it's an awesome addition to anybody's inventory. I don't even have these. I'm still on the Mercenary badge, although I was pretty close to getting the Soldier of Fortune, which I'm a little bit mad about, but I definitely think that this is something you should show off. Definitely think it's something you should put on your Steam profile. I think it's a cool badge. Like, it looks cosmetically appealing. Gold badge, you know, like, who wouldn't want to rock that? But of course, there is only 3 cosmetic slots, which kind of limits it a little bit. Now we jump into the last of these badges, of course, being the Primeval Warrior. Very, very highly desired in the community. But this was given to players who played or owned the game before October 9th, 2007. Now, I mean, the Primeval Warrior is the rarest, well, I'm not going to say the rarest badge in the game, but one of them. It's a very highly desired badge that not many people have. Like, this badge is nearly as old as I am. Like, that is crazy to me, that this item in TF2 is nearly as old as me. Definitely, I rarely see it in game. As I said before, when I was covering the Soldier of Fortune, you know, people who have this badge have been playing for a while, you know, they have cosmetics, so they would put them on, but I don't think many people would even want to flex this. I mean, all you would have to do is go on their Steam profile and see like 17 years of service or something like that. But definitely to have this in your inventory is absolutely mental. And now we'll go ahead and jump into the MVM badges. Of course, these kind of everybody has sitting in their backpack. I didn't even know you got a badge for MVM. I know I've just never really worn it. It's just been sitting in my backpack. But of course, for each of the tours, you get a corresponding badge. Like, of course, for the Steel Trap, you get Operation Steel Trap badge. Gear Grinder, you get the Gear Grinder badge. Oil Spill, you get the Oil Spill badge. Mecha Engine, you get the Mecha Engine badge. And the Two Cities badge, of course, you get from playing the Two Cities tour. Now, these I have literally never seen someone wear, like, ever. Unless they were like an MVM veteran and they have like 600 tours and they want to like flex it to people. But even then, I just don't find these badges very appealing. Apart from my favorite one probably is the Mecha Engine badge, because it has that like silver wrench on it. I think that one's pretty cool. But for the Gear Grinder, Oil Spill, and Steel Trap badge, it's just the same badge, but like sort of rusted or different themes for different things. And of course the Two Cities badge, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of the MVM badges, but they're very, very common. Most people have these, they're not rare at all. Next up we have the Bombonomicon, which is once again a very common badge. I don't think anybody has gotten it actually from the achievement itself, but mostly from the achievement farm servers that kind of all the free-to-plays, everything like that go on, you know, / give me all, everything like that. But it was given to players who, well, the achievement that you had to get this badge before those servers were a thing, it was given to players who earned the Dive Into a Good Book achievement. And to get this achievement, you had to travel to the Loot Island through the portal that appears after you kill Monoculus on Ioduct, of course during the Halloween event. And then if you collect the Bombonomicon that's in the cage, you get the achievement and thus getting the badge as well. But this badge is a little bit special because it has like an effect to it per se. Like when you get killed, you'll basically just explode into like a bajillion pieces. And I don't think any other badge has that, so this is kind of one of a kind in that sense. Now we have the Spirit of Giving. Now this is kind of a one of a kind badge because it's actually a strange. This was given to players who logged in during the Australian Christmas 2011 update. And it also came with a Secret Saxton and a Giftapult, I think. And this basically tracks how many gifts you've given, or like, well, how kind you've been to the community. And it has its own like strange levels. So when you gift 250, it's like the equivalent of getting 8,500 kills on a weapon. A weapon would turn into Hail Zone, and the Spirit of Giving would turn into Saxton Zone. And actually on the badge itself, you can see the more gifts that you give, the bigger that the heart on the badge itself will get. Of course, that's in reference to the Grinch movies and everything like that. So I think it's a pretty cool reference. But once again, you get this through the achievement farming, so kind of everybody that's been on them and has done the / give me all would have this as well. Now I haven't actually seen anyone that has this badge that has it at the level of Saxton's own, because most people, they just kind of have it in their backpack laying around, you know, it's just taking up space. But I think it's quite cool, although 250 Secret Saxtons is definitely not cheap, but I'm definitely going to work my way towards having a Saxton's own one, because I feel like that's just a cool gimmick. You can kind of show that off to people, and of course the heart is like at the biggest size it can be on the badge itself. But I personally wouldn't wear this badge. It would just take up a cosmetic slot in my opinion. Now next we have the Gentleman's Service Medal. Now this has quite a cool gimmick and a cool history behind it, back when, you know, Valve actually cared about the game. It was added in 2009, and the way you got this badge is that you had to click a load of sort of random links on a website. They were all hidden links on one of the Team Fortress websites. And once you had clicked all of those links, you know, found all the secrets, you could click on one of the links and it would then grant you the badge. Now there was only 11,111 like ever in circulation. You cannot get it anymore. The only way you can get it now is by trading for it, and it is quite a desired badge, especially in the community nowadays. I'm currently trying my best to get one because I think it's just a cool piece of TF2 history, back when Valve used to do these cool gimmicks, these cool like contests, everything like that, where it gave back to the community and you get cool hats, cool badges, everything like that. But definitely I think this is one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Now I'm going to cover these next 3 badges sort of in one segment, as they're pretty much the same, and that's the Electric Badgaloo, the End of the Line Community Update Medal, and the Invasion Community Update Medal. Now these are only in self-made quality, as they were only ever given out to contributors for those respective updates. Now I've never actually seen one of these in game, probably because they're quite rare, as you can only get them in self-made quality, but I think these badges look so cool, especially the Electric Badgaloo one. It looks quite similar to the MVM badges, but it has that cool aspect to it, that robo aspect to it, and I think it's so cool. I wish I could get my hand on these badges, as I just love collecting badges, but unfortunately, since they are in self-made quality, they are untradeable and locked to the owner's backpacks. But I just think they're super awesome, and the fact that they have that community sparkle effect as well, I think is just fantastic, and I really hope to see one of these in game in the future. Now up next we have the Alterous Adornment. Now this is a pretty special badge, and I think it has a really good heartwarming story behind it. the way you get this badge is you have to join the Random Acts of TF2 Reddit and be voted for their, I think it's called the Gifter of the Month. So basically, they have a post, and whoever's name gets commented the most will receive this badge. Now, you could go out and get this badge if you have that kind of kind, giving heart, but it is quite difficult to get, as there's a lot of kind-hearted people that actually just give out a load of gifts on this Reddit. And I think it's a pretty awesome thing, and the fact that they're still doing this and still giving out the badges kind of gives that fresh TF2 life to the game. The fact that you can actually get something new for a community thing, I think that's awesome. And it is a great looking badge as well, and the fact that it has the team color thing where it changes whether you're on red team or blue team, I think that just adds even more specialty to this very, very awesome badge. Now we have the Philanthropist's Indulgence. Wow, that is a hard word to say. Now you can get this in genuine quality if you partook in the birthday bash or the Christmas gifting event in 2017, but you can actually still get it to this day by participating in the Random Acts of TF2 subreddit. And of course that gets given to anybody who partakes in their events and, you know, gives back to the community and decides to give gifts out to people. And I think these badges are so cool, and I'm definitely going to be getting my own Philanthropist Indulgence just to add to my badge collection. But definitely, I think this is a badge that I would personally wear, because I wouldn't be one to wear badges, but I just think the cookie with the little ribbon on it, I think that's actually really, really awesome. And when you see it on a player, you just know that, you know, they've given out a gift to someone, or they've partaken in a community event that gives back to the community. Now we're moving on to the Saxy Clapper badge. Now this was given to any player who voted for their favorite entries in the second annual Saxy Awards on the official Steam page between November 16th, 2012 and November 27th, 2012. And I can't be the only one that really misses the Saxy events. You really don't see it anymore. I just thought, like, back when I used to just kind of come home from school and just play TF2 all day, watching those funny shorts or those funny like SFM movies where people just put in so much effort to it, I think that they really need to bring Saxy back, because that used to be like the highlight of TF2 for me. I loved watching SFM movies and SFM shorts, and it just gives you a good laugh. And I think once you see stuff like this in game, like the Saxy, like the badges associated with the Saxy, I just think it was an awesome thing that Valve did, and I'm really sad that they stopped doing it and they stopped giving these badges and weapons and everything like that out just for participating in community events. I really do miss the Saxy Awards. Valve, you need to bring that back. Up next we have another community event badge, which was the Polycount pin. Now this was awarded to players who either entered or were involved in the Polycount contest. Now I actually didn't know this existed, but I really want this badge. It's so like subtle, but it's just that green pin. I don't know about it. Like if you had like a full green loadout, it would go so well. And it's a very old badge as well. And I just think it looks really cool. And of course it supports Polycount, one of the coolest contests, one of the coolest like community events that TF2 did. Well, actually, never mind. Yeah, TF2 had a lot of amazing community events, but this was definitely one of them. And the more I read up on it, the more I learned. And of course I wasn't around when this was happening, and I kind of wish that I was, because I really want this badge in my inventory. Now up next we have the Workshop Wonderland badges. I'm just going to cover all of these in one as they're from the same thing. And that would be the Genuine Special Snowflake, the Genuine Gift of Giving, and then of course for the year after you've the Genuine Special Snowflake 2016, and then the Genuine Gift of Giving 2016. Now these were given to players who participated in the Workshop Wonderland 2015 or 16 showcases, and also donated at least £5 or around $7, €6 give or take, to the special effect charity drive, which was what the event was all about. And then of course the only difference between the four badges is of course 2 of them were from 2015 and then the other 2 were from 2016. The more I read into these badges on the wiki, I didn't even know there was this many community badges in the game, but these ones especially look really, really nice. Like genuinely, these are one of the best badges that I've seen on this list so far. And most of these badges before I even made this video, I didn't even know existed. But definitely these ones, it supports a good cause, and once again, it supports the community aspect. All the community works were put into like a showcase or a slideshow that was made by Valve, and you know, it just shines that spotlight on the community, and I think that's a really, really good thing that I could definitely get behind. And I wish that they carried on doing this past 2016, if they had it like an annual thing. But of course, with the state of TF2 now, let's be honest, it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Now next we have the Map Maker's Medallion. Now this badge was given in genuine quality to people who entered the Art Pass contest, which was like a map making contest, and it was also given to the 3 placing winners of all the major TF2 maps.net contests. And basically it was given to people who designed maps that the community really, really liked and voted for, and then of course this badge was given to them. And I know I must sound like a broken record at this point, but I really wish that Valve kept this going. I'm pretty sure the last time they gave any of these out was like 2014, 2015. But you know, these badges are so cool, and it like really does breathe life into the community. And I really hope that with the fixed TF2 movement, everybody gets Valve's attention so we can bring the community back and do cool things like this more often. Now next I'm going to cover the TF2 Maps 72-hour TF2 Jam badges. Now these were given out to the players who participated in the event when the first event was going on, and then for every year after that, if you donated like $5 or you know £5, $7 or like €6 give or take to the 2017 charity drive, or whichever year you decided to partake in. But that is actually still going to this day. The last one was of course given out in 2023, and I will definitely be going for the 2024 one because I didn't even know these existed, and some of these badges I just like would love to have in my inventory. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for the 2024 72-hour TF2 maps and participate and donate whatever need be to get these badges, because I just love badges and I love collecting them, and I think it'd be a great addition to my inventory, that's for sure. Next we have the Mappers vs Machines Participant Medal 2017. Now this was given to players who submitted a map for the TF2 Mappers vs Machines event. Wow, that is a lot of M's. But so if you had submitted a map to this contest, you didn't have to win, nobody had to vote for it, but if you'd submitted it, you would get this badge. And I think it's a really, really nice badge, especially with the differentiating team colors, whether you're on red or blue, the little gem in the middle changes. Now next I'm going to cover the Operation Starch Silliness badges of 2021. Now there was 3 badges that were up for grabs. There's the Genuine Starch Silliness Potato Lookalike, which you got for completing 6 missions in full during the event, and then you had the Starch Silliness Super Spud, which was given to the creators of the maps that were being played on. And then if you had donated $5 or more, you would be given the Genuine Starch Silliness Curious Carbon, which is like a robot hand with a gem in the middle. I'll probably put a picture of it up here somewhere, but I'm so annoyed I didn't get these badges. It's my favorite badge in the entire game because the potato just looks so cool. Like, it honestly looks awesome. This is genuinely one of the badges where I feel like I would go out of my way to wear, just because it looks so silly, it looks so stupid that it would just fit any goofy loadout. Like if you just saw a Hoovie running around in 2 Fort with a potato on his chest, I feel like that would just be really funny. And even though it wasn't that long ago, it was only in 2021, but I missed out on so many of these community events, and I really wish I had gotten these badges. Next we have the Portal 2 badges. So first we have the Companion Cube Pin badge, which was given in genuine quality to people who pre-purchased Portal 2 on Steam before the 19th of April 2011. I actually have this badge. I have it in genuine quality, but not because I pre-ordered the game, I just bought it. But this badge has kind of a unique thing to it where when the character moves up and down, the cube that's actually inside the portal does bob up and down as well, which is, honestly, I think that's really cool. No other badge really has that, and this is why, even on some of my loadouts, I still wear this badge. Then of course we have the Resurrection Associate pin, which you may think looks very, very similar to the Companion Cube pin, and you would be right in saying that. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, but it was given to players who played all the games in the Potato Sack Pack, and then after playing all of the 13 games, a banner with a link appeared on your Steam profile, which then you were able to claim your pin. And you didn't need to pre-order Portal 2 to get this badge, so you didn't even need the game. All you had to do was play all 13 games that came in the potato sack. But it does look pretty much identical to the companion cube pin badge. Like if I had two of them standing next to me, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Next, we have the Friends Forever Companion Square badge. Now this was given in genuine quality to people who opened the What's in the Companion Square box, which you got from redeeming a code from a real life item, which was of course the Friends Forever Companion Square. Now you could only buy this at a certain Comic-Con, and then you would have to redeem the code on your Steam and you'd be granted this pin. But this can still be bought to this day, as players who received it would most likely just sell it, as nowadays it goes for about I think like 30-40 keys, and that is a lot of money for a badge. Now I definitely want to get one of these, and as much as I'm tempted to like sell a lot of the hats that I have just to buy this because I just love badges and I love having them in my inventory, I think 35-40 keys is a bit too rich for my taste. Next up we have the license to maim. Now to get this badge you had to have Poker Night at the inventory in your Steam library, and then you had to defeat Max while he's bought in with the Lugermorph and the badge. And once you've knocked Max out of the poker tournament, you'll get the achievement Special Item Max, and then when you log into Team Fortress 2 next, you'll not only receive the license to maim, but you'll also receive the Lugermorph as well. Good luck getting it now, as keys for Poker Night at the inventory are about $80, which is very, very steep for a poker game. Next up we have the Space Chem pin, and the way that you got this badge is that you would have to use the crafting ingredients that you get by unlocking achievements in the game Space Chem, and then the blueprint is 3 mustachium bars and a space metal scrap gives you the Space Chem pin. Now this isn't a rare badge at all, you can still buy it to this day probably for like 2 refined, not much at all. And I'm pretty sure you can just get it out of the normal crafting system as well. Like I have one just because I like to collect obscure badges, but the promotion hasn't ended. You can still get it the traditional way to this day, but as I've heard, Space Chem is an extremely difficult game, so if you don't want to unlock those achievements, you can either buy it or just try your luck with crafting. Next is the Mark of the Saint, and this was given to players in genuine quality who had pre-ordered Saints Row the 3rd on Steam before November 15th, 2011. I have this one in genuine quality. Once again, it's still not a rare badge. You can get it on backpack.tf I think for like 10 refined, but it's a cool mark, it's a cool badge, shows that you own Saints Row, I guess. There's not really much behind it. These next couple of badges are still ones you can buy to this day. There's not really a cool story behind them, most of them are just promotional items, but I'm going to cover them anyway. Next is the Bolgan family crest, and of course it was given to in genuine quality to players who pre-purchased the Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning on Steam before the 7th of February 2012. Yeah, these next couple of badges, they're just for pre-ordering games, so I'm just going to sieve through them really, really fast. But once again, it's a cool badge, but it's still very easy to obtain. Now, the Merc Medal was awarded in genuine quality to players who had pre-purchased Jagged Alliance Back in Action on Steam before the 9th of February 2012. And this one is actually probably my favorite out of the promotional pre-purchase ones, as it is quite a big badge. It's one of the bigger ones. It's actually pretty noticeable in game as well. But apart from that, that's really it. Once again, you can still obtain it to this day. The Atomic Accolade was then given in genuine quality to people who had pre-purchased Quantum Conundrum on Steam before the 21st of June 2012. Now this one is pretty basic. And once again, I know I must sound like a broken record at this point, but you can still buy it to this day for probably less than 10 ref, so it's not really rare. Now, the Awesome Knots badge, that was given in genuine quality to people who pre-ordered Awesome Knots on Steam before the 5th of September 2012, and you can still get it to this day. Next, we have the Vigilant pin, and this was awarded in genuine quality to people who pre-ordered XCOM Enemy Unknown before the 9th of October 2012, and yes, it is currently still purchasable, and it's still doable. Next, we have the Heroic Companion badge. This was awarded in genuine quality to people who pre-ordered Company of Heroes 2 on Steam before the 25th of June 2013. But this badge kind of has its own little spin to it, as it has 2 styles, Russian and German. The Russian style, the badge is shaped like a red star, and the German style, it gives the badge like an iron cross look to it. So that kind of sets it apart from all the rest. And yes, you can still get it to this day. I'm pretty sure all the badges I've mentioned you can get for less than 10 ref, because I have them in my backpack, but this one has a cool spin to it. Next, we have the AAA badge, which is awarded in genuine quality to people who open the What's in the Companion Square box or the What's in the Sandwich box. So basically, if you open the What's in the Sandwich box, you would get the Robo Sandwich and the AAA badge. And if you open the What's in the Companion Square box, you would get that Companion Square pin and also the AAA badge. I do own this badge, but I didn't get it by opening any of the boxes. I just simply got it from, well, buying it. But there is less than 2,000 of these currently in circulation, and there's still about 2 keys, so they're not really cheap. But it is just a staple to have in your backpack, and I think it's actually a pretty cool looking badge too. Now, the Whalebone Charm, this was awarded to players in genuine quality who pre-purchased Dishonored on Steam before the 9th of October 2012. Yes, still purchasable just like all the other ones, and it's just a plain badge. I don't really like it that much, but I do also have this badge. I'm sorry if it feels like I'm rushing these badges, it's just there isn't really much to say about these, they're all just promotional items. But next we have the Hitman's badge. This was given in genuine quality to players who had pre-purchased Hitman Abduction on Steam before the 19th of November 2012. Once again, of course, still purchasable. Now next up we have the Fairy Solitaire pin. Now this one was given in genuine quality to players who owned, you didn't have to pre-purchase it, just own Fairy Solitaire on Steam before the 13th of December 2012, and yes, it is still purchasable. It's still like that for pretty much all the next couple of badges, but if you do want to go out there and get yourself a genuine Fairy Solitaire pin, it is still possible. Next up we have the Smith Wreath. I wouldn't really count this thing as a badge, as it's like more of just like a cosmetic, but it's on the badge wiki, so I'm going to cover it anyway. This is just a normal cosmetic, so you could get it from crafting or just buying it off someone else or trading for it. It's just a simple wreath that goes over the chest, you know, very Christmassy, but there's not really much else to it. Back to the pre-purchasing rewards, we have the Crofts Crest, which you could probably guess you got in genuine quality for pre-purchasing Tomb Raider on Steam before the 12th of March 2013. It's kind of in the name, you could probably guess it, but I also do own this badge. And yes, it is still purchasable. And last but not least, in this kind of boring section, we have the Baronial badge, which was given in genuine quality to people who had purchased Thief on Steam before the 7th of March 2014. So now we can go back into talking about the cool, interesting badges, so let's jump right into that. Now next we have the Dr. How do you even pronounce that? Gordbort's Copper Crest, and all of their badges. Now you get these badges by purchasing the oh my god, I'm really going to struggle with these names. Gordbort Moonbrain Double Pack. That one would give you both the Silver Crest and the Copper Crest, or you could buy the 2 packs individually to get those respective badges. But to get Dr. Gordbort's Crest, the gold one, you had to purchase the Dr. Gordbort Victory Pack, and all of these can be bought from the Manco store. Whew, well thank god that section's over. I kind of nearly had a stroke reading those off. Now next up we have the Blapature badges. Now the first one was the Blapature Co Contributor badge. This was given to players who donated at least $5 to the 2017 Blapature Co charity event. And then of course all the badges after that, you have the Blapature Co Backer, Supporter and Benefactor, and they were given to players who donated $5, $15 and $25 USD respectively. And then from 2018 to 2022, all that really changed about the badges was just the year that showed. Unfortunately, you can't really get these anymore. They haven't done an event since 2022, and I really hope they do another one because these badges just look so awesome. The rainbow effect to them is just absolutely insane. I really want to get one of these badges, so I really hope they run it again in 2024. Now next up we have the Jingle Jam medals. Now in 2013, all you had to do to get these was just donate at least $5 USD to the Yogcast Dwarven Daily Drive, not Daily, Dairy Drive, and you would get the Genuine Heart of Gold. And in 2014 it was the same, but you would get the Thought That Counts medal. And then in 2015 is when the medals started to get really cool. It's the Honeydew's Charitable Accountants. And then you had the Zephos Philanthropic, oh my god, this is impossible. Zephos Philanthropic oh my god, I'm going to have a stroke. Zephos Philanthropic Physiognomy. I'm just going to stick it with that. I'm going to sound like an absolute idiot, but I'm fine with that. And it was the same thing, all you had to do was donate at least $5 USD in 2015, and then in 2016 there was 4 new medals which you had to donate at least $30 to get, which was the Duncan's Kind-Hearted Kisser, the Hannah's Altruistic Aspect, and then the Sips Selfish Simulacrum, and then the oh my god, S-Jin's Generous Guys. Oh my god, this is actually insane. Where do they come up with these names? And then in 2017, you had to donate at least 5 USD to get the, oh my god, Israfel's Alasonomy Expression, and then the Mandrew's Munificent Mug. Oh my god, where do they come up with these names? It's so hard to read. But yeah, those are all the Jingle Jam badges, and these are one of my favorites. That little TV that they have, I think that's awesome, and the fact that it displays different faces depending on which badge you wear is not only a really good, heartwarming story for charity, but it just gives you a really awesome badge to show it. But I'm very secretly happy that that's over, because now I can stop having a stroke. Now, up next we have the Tip of the Hats charity event cosmetics. Now, this ran from 2015 to 2019, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But in 2015, if you donated at least 20 USD to the Tip of the Hats charity, you got the Jaunty Pin 2015 badge. And then for 2016 is when the badges started to get really good, in my opinion, which if you donated 10, 30 or 100 USD, you would get these badges respectfully: the Jaunty Camper, the Jaunty Benefactor, or the Jaunty Trailblazer, and they were for 2016. And then in 2017 it was the same, but you had the Jaunty Adventurer, Jaunty Voyager, and Jaunty Globetrotter. And then in 2018 it was the Jaunty Explorer, the Jaunty Ranger, or the Jaunty Mountaineer. And then, of course, in 2019, you had the Jaunty Tripper, Jaunty Benefactor, or Jaunty Philanthropist. A lot of Jaunty, but these are, like, that 100 USD badge is probably one of the more expensive ones on the charity drives, but I still think these badges look awesome. The Tip of the Hats event was one of my favorites. Although I don't own any of these badges, I really wish I did, because they would just look so cool to have in your inventory. And I hope that they do more events like this in 2024 so I can collect these badges, and hopefully they'll be rare in the future, you know? Now, I know I said I wasn't going to cover any tournament medals, but these ones don't really count, and it's the Rally Call Charity Tournament. Now, for these ones, of course, you have the first place, second place, and the participant/helper medal. And then if you had donated at least £5, you got the 2017 Donator Medal. And then in 2018, if you had participated in the event, you got the Rally Call Whale. And then if you had donated above £5, you got the genuine Rally Call Whale Donor, which is the same thing, but except the whale is gold. It's like all these cool badges I really missed out on. Like that, the Rally Call Whale Donor one, that one's so cool. It's a gold whale. Who wouldn't want to have that? Like, now that I'm reading through these, and that I was playing TF2 at the time and didn't even realize, yeah, it's just annoying. Now, next we have the Madness vs. Machine medals. Now, there's quite a lot of these, so I'm just going to show the pictures on screen for what they represent. And you had the Boundless Heart 2019 and the Hopeful Heart 2019 that you got for donating at least $10. And then for making the maps, you had the Pinnacle Ingenuity and the Chaotic Crystal. And then both of those were just for submitting the maps. And then the rest of them, it's going to take ages for me to list them out, but the rest of them that you see here on screen, they were given to players that either completed a certain amount of missions or completed all of them. And this was by far one of my favorite events. I participated in it, but unfortunately didn't get any of the medals because I was lazy and only did one and then logged off. But can you really blame me? It's like MVM isn't really my thing. I find MVM to be a little boring, if I'm honest with you. But it was a really cool event, and at the time I kind of wish I'd kept playing, because I really... Back then I didn't care about collecting badges, but now I really wish I had these badges in my collection. Now, next up, we're still continuing on with the Potatoes custom MVM servers. And the two that I'm showing on screen here now, the Participant Medal and the Replica Titanium Tank 2020, these were given for either participating in the event or completing all of the tours. And then, of course, you had the Gilded Giver and then the Chromatic Cardoid, and which you got for donating, I believe it was 10 USD or 30 USD. Of course, the Gilded Giver being for 10 USD and the Chromatic Cardoid being for 30. I believe that was the amount. I'm not 100% sure, but it was something along those lines. But I still play on Potatoes custom MVM servers with my friends sometimes with SV cheats on and just having fun. Honestly, I love Potatoes custom MVM servers. I'm in their Discord. I've been following them for a while, and I think what they're doing is really, really awesome. And I hope they do another event like this in the future. Alright, so we have the dueling badges up next, which are the bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. So to get the bronze badge, you simply just need to win a duel. And then for that to be upgraded to silver, you need to win 240 duels. And for it to be increased from silver to gold, you need 490 duel wins. And then from gold to platinum, you need 740 duel wins. I still haven't even gotten the silver one because I just don't do duels very often, but it's kind of a cool thing to kind of flex, show like your ability at the game and you're good at dueling. And that is all. Thank you all so much for sticking around. I know it was a really long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed hearing a little bit about the history behind some badges that you might not have known the history of in Team Fortress 2. But if there is any that I forgot, or you have one and I didn't mention it, leave it in the comments and I might do a follow-up video with the ones that I forgot. But with that, I'll leave you all. Have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and stay hydrated.